Hi, everybody. Today we are shifting our focus from creating art to something just as important, displaying it. Good placement can elevate both your artwork and your space, helping you make the most out of the pieces you already own. But before we start, a little disclaimer. Let's start with the obvious. Art is personal. What you like in art and how you choose to decorate your space is entirely up to you. Your home and what you bring to it should reflect what makes you feel comfortable and happy. It's your space, your style, your rules. I'm not here to tell you what to do. However, if you're here, you're probably wondering how to make the art that you already have at home stand out or harmonize better with everything else in your space. There are some simple guidelines that can help you with that, and that's what we are going to explore today. So let's dive in. First of all, once again, art is personal. The art you collect is a reflection of your journey. It tells your story, reveals your personality, and evokes memories of the people you've met and the places you've been. In short, the life you live. It's okay if your art doesn't resonate with everyone the same way it does with you. Each person has their own story, and that uniqueness is what makes art so special. So there are no rigid rules on how you collect it. However, maybe there is room for improvement to how you display it so that your art truly enhances your space and also that your space allows your art to shine. But why does it matter? Let me illustrate this with a simple analogy. Imagine this gentleman. He is very well dressed in here and in here as well. Rather stylish, right? But if I bring him to this environment, you would say that one outfit is more appropriate than the other, right? And now it is the very opposite. And if you mix elements, you might end up with something that one makes sense in either environment. The same principle applies to art. No matter how beautiful or meaningful a piece is, it needs the right setting to truly shine, and sometimes to even make sense. So, secondly, no art is a standalone piece. A painting or sculpture might look stunning in a gallery or a shop, but once it's in your home, its surroundings will influence how it's perceived. For instance, a postmodern abstract piece might clash with a traditional classic room, just as a neon pop art print might feel out of place in a soft, natured, inspired setting. That's why you should always think of every piece, not individually, but as part of a larger visual composition. Before hanging or bringing a piece to your house, you should ask yourself if it complements the space. So consider its style, color, size, theme, to ensure harmony rather than visual discord with what you already have at home. Third, you can adjust the space to enhance your art. If you love a certain piece and are happy to display it, but feel like it doesn't quite fit, you can try adjusting the environment. For instance, if the artwork has a dominant color, try matching elements like throws, cushions, or even flowers to create a cohesive look. In minimalist spaces, both pieces can work beautifully when they add intentional contrast rather than feeling misplaced. By integrating your art thoughtfully, you allow it to become a seamless part of your space rather than just an object on the wall. Fourth, size matters. The scale of an artwork should complement the proportions of the room. A massive canvas in a small room can feel overwhelming, while tiny pieces on a large empty wall may appear insignificant. The right size and placement can transform a room, adding depth and character without overpowering the surroundings. 5. Not every piece needs to be displayed. Your loft pieces will stand out more when arranged thoughtfully rather than in a crowded space. Our eyes need room to rest in order to truly appreciate art. A well-curated display makes it easier to highlight focal points, ensuring each piece gets the attention it deserves. So, you don't need to display everything at once. Rotating your collection keeps your space feeling fresh and dynamic. So you can store some of your pieces safely and bring them out when you're in the mood for a change. Your walls will thank you. So now let's go through some general guidelines for hanging art. While exceptions exist, such as extra high ceilings or fireplace or odd architecture, these are solid guidelines to follow. The center of the artwork should be at eye level, around 145 to 160 centimeters from the floor. This is for vertical canvas, horizontal canvas, pairings, and also gallery walls, regardless of the size of the piece or pieces. If hanging above the furniture, leave about 15 to 30 centimeters between the furniture and the bottom of the artwork. The 2/3 rule is a good guidance, but it's not a rigid one, okay? It means that anything that goes above the furniture should be 2/3 of the width of anything that is below it. But this is not rigid, okay? As long as the art or group above is not wider than the furniture under it, you are safe. If you have a horizontal area but you want to display a single vertical piece, you can add a lamp or a plant in either side to provide visual balance. For high ceilings, you can adjust slightly higher for balance. For horizontal placement, you should center the artwork based on the focal point of the wall, not necessarily the exact middle of it. Once again, if you have plants, lamps, or other elements that add continuity to the furniture, then your art can also take more width. When grouping multiple pieces, try to keep 8 to 12 centimeters of space between them. If they are too close, it will make them look cluttered. If they are too distant, it will make them look disconnected. And whenever possible, avoid these common mistakes, okay? Don't rush it. Take your time to see how a piece fits into space before committing. Don't ignore scale and proportion. A tiny frame in a huge wall or an oversized piece crammed into a small space creates imbalance. Don't hang too high or too low. Too high and the piece feels disconnected. Too low, it might interfere with the furniture or movement. There's so much more to discuss, but let's stop here today, okay? Let me know if you would like a video on acquiring art, including what pieces to avoid. I will be glad to share some guidelines. So next week, we'll dive into gallery walls, okay? It's going to be just about gallery walls. I thought about adding it to this one, but it would be too extensive, so I decided to make a separate video just for gallery walls. How to curate them, how to buy pieces for yourself or others, and create good arrangements. That's all we have for today. And what about you? Have you ever struggled with displaying art in your home? Feel free to share your experiences and let's explore ways to improve your setup, okay? As always, keep on practicing and thank you for joining us.